I'm really excited to announce something with you today that I think is going to change an incredible number of lives here in Jacksonville and abroad. We're announcing JWB's Homestep Program. And the Homestep Program is the first of its kind that I've heard of. It's the only one in Jacksonville and the surrounding counties where a property management company is actually paying our renters and helping them build wealth in addition to all the good things we just talked about. Now our renters are earning $100 a month for all of the months that they fulfill the lease with JWB, pay their rent on time, all those good things they're already doing. Now they are earning $100 a month. And this $100 a month goes towards their first home that they either purchase from JWB or, get this, it's available to any home in Jacksonville as long as they're working with JWB Realty. So we're going to be able to put thousands of dollars into the pockets of our residents as they are saving on closing costs and purchasing their first home through Homestep.
Awesome. And have you heard of other stuff like this, man? Are people doing things like this?
I just gotta say, that's freaking unbelievable. That's really incredible what you guys are doing. I mean, that's so exciting. Homestep. I'm gonna make a note and have our team track this. We'd love to hear how this is going and what you guys are seeing as you roll this out.
Well, we're super excited. When we talked about triple win in the beginning, this is a great example where, number one, it's easy to see how our residents, our renters are going to be able to win here as we make it easy and accessible for them to step into home ownership. But a lot of the conversation here was, how are we taking care of our clients, our investor clients through this as well? And one thing we know is that it's very easy to see how renters are going to be excited to rent from JWB because we are the only property management company that offers this. And so it's easy to see how your days on market will decrease, which means your vacancy costs will decrease, which means your maintenance costs will decrease, which means your property turn costs will decrease. All of those things are like what you talked about, those tough, painful moments as a rental property investor. They all revolve around maintenance costs, vacancy costs, property turns. Yeah. So a big part of why this is a win for everybody is not just for helping our residents, but it's for helping you as clients as we're able to reduce those costs and obviously increase the value of your investments with us.
Yeah, man, as you're talking about this, there's two things that I'm thinking about. Number one is we've talked so much on this show about how Jacksonville is growing. And the economy is just like booming, second best job market in the US, highest rising median income in Florida, right? And all that good stuff. And the economic flywheel that is created by your investments in downtown, by your investments in these neighborhoods, by your investments in like the resident experience. And the number one lever that you can pull to plug someone into that is to help them become homeowners, right? So the impact of it is very real. Then if I put on my investor hat on there, I'm thinking I can only imagine what a competitive advantage my property has whenever I'm like looking for a resident to move in, of saying, oh yeah, you can rent for these other guys, or you can come here, build your credit, have a great experience. And oh, by the way, you're going to be able to like save a nice chunk of change for a down payment for a home without having to do anything at all while you're here, so you can get plugged into that economic development flywheel. That part really makes my eyes open up.
Absolutely. And here's something else that we decided to do. Obviously we manage close to 6,000 homes. So there's roughly 6,000 families that are renting from us right now. We said, what's the right thing to do for all those folks that have been renting from us? The average duration of resident stay is 4.5 years now. And we said, well, what's the right thing to do here? And so what JWB decided to do is to grandfather all of our current residents into this program.
That's cool, man.
We totaled it up and it comes out to over $16 million that we've committed to give at JWB. We've committed $16 million to our current residents. Once they fulfill that lease and just operate as though they are already doing, they're going to have this nice chunk of change that they can use towards their down payment and their closing costs. It's going to total up to $3,600 is the max amount that they'll be able to earn. So if you have been renting for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, before we announced this, it was going to cost you $3,600 more to be able to become a homeowner. Now, after this, once they enroll in Homestep, it's going to be $3,600 less. And,
Epic.
and it's not just the cost here, it is this total suite of services. We've talked a lot about the resident experience and the residents benefits package, but guys, there's so much more to helping people become homeowners that JWB is uniquely positioned to help in. I mean, it's the type of homes that we build. I just put the stats together and we've built and sold 262 homes for Jacksonville families in the last 5 or so years. And 92% of those homes were priced below the average price for the city.
Yeah.
So it's the type of home, it's the down payment assistance and the grants that we can help folks take advantage of. I mean, we have folks, renters that become homeowners that don't have to come out of pocket much at all because a lot of that was taken care of in the form of down payment assistance and grants. So it's this total suite of services. And what we're trying to do is to lift up our community. And I want you all to feel really good about it too, because when you are a JWB investor, this vertically integrated approach is why this is possible, and it allows us to do these initiatives, give back more to our community, and raise everybody up.
A couple of clarifying questions. I'm not hearing anything about it coming out of my pocket as an investor, right? Like this is not something that's like I'm giving up some rent in order to do this. This is you all floating it.
Correct. There is no cost to the owner of the property, and there is no cost to the renter as well.
Awesome. Charity had a great question here that you answered half of it, right? I'll just read it all out. Does JWB ever get residents who eventually want to own the property they rent from you because of how well you take care of the property and their experience? How do you handle that personally? Because I want to build wealth. I would want to hold on to my property. At what point do you replace the resident? How does that work? I will summarize this as saying, we've talked about build to rent, like rent to own before, and how that never actually ends up working out for the homeowner. This is different. This is not rent to own, but it is, as an owner, I guess what she's asking is, well, what if I have this like awesome resident that's been there for 3 years, makes $3,600 on that. Now, because we've given them $3,600, they want to move away from my property. I really want to keep my property maintained. Help me think through that, G.
Guys, this program does not depend on you selling your house. JWB has more than enough homes to sell, not named client homes. So our messaging of being this as an opportunity to buy and hold and build a better retirement account still plays. So no change to that whatsoever from either the idea of how to win in rental property investing or logistically what you need to do. So now let's talk about what a rent to own program is and where it fails and how this is better. In a rent to own program, it is possible and quite common for residents of a home that they're doing a rent to own to earn some money that can go towards the future purchase of the home. An individual landlord might give a rent credit. It might be $50 a month or $100 a month. But the problem is they're tied to that one home. And in order to get that rent credit, the renter had to put up generally thousands of dollars to put an option deposit down on the home. So they had to come out additionally thousands of dollars in order to get the opportunity to earn $50 or $100 a month. But then what happens is, I know this from experience, most of the time, those renters never actually take advantage of the rent to own program. The reason is, number one, it's hard to go from renter to homeowner if somebody's not helping you and guiding you along the way. And so just flat out, most people never take advantage of it, or life happens and that house isn't right for them anymore, or life happens and their credit takes a dive and they run out of time. So for this program, Homestep, you get all the benefits of earning money while you are renting and while you're becoming mortgage ready without those restrictions. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars in order to take part in the program. And there's no limit on when this is available to you. So if it takes you years and years, as long as you're continuing to rent with JWB and as long as you use JWB Realty services, you can then use these credits towards any home in the Jacksonville or greater area and surrounding areas. So you're not limited to that one home. So we're really excited about Homestep as a much better alternative than a typical rent to own program. And there's no requirements for you as an owner to change your strategy.
I love it, man.